If you have an L4-5 or L5-S1 disc bulge and you spend most of your day sitting, keep watching this video, because sitting the wrong way is one of the fastest ways to make a disc bulge worse, even if you're doing everything else right. If your lower back gets stiff after just 20 minutes, or your leg pain gets worse every time you get in the car, off the couch, or out of the office chair, this is your disc reacting to the pressure that's been building all day long. In this video, you'll learn the 5 common sitting mistakes that most people make without realizing it. More importantly, I'll show you how to fix each one so you can reduce pain, support healing, and stop the disc bulge from getting worse. Make sure you stay until the end, because mistake number 5 is the one that quietly ruins most disc bulge recoveries, and once you know how to spot it, you'll never sit the same way again. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Dr. Kevin Wafer, a chiropractor in Houston, Texas. I help people overcome disc bulges, sciatica, and chronic spinal issues without surgery or risky medications using targeted chiropractic corrective care. This channel is for busy people dealing with pain who want real, practical strategies to relieve pain, restore mobility, and prevent future flare-ups. Subscribe now if you want expert tips, simple exercises, and proven solutions that help you move better, feel stronger, and stay pain-free. A lot of people search for stretches and exercises to fix their disc injury, and that's a great place to start. I've got plenty of videos on this channel with routines that help alleviate lumbar disc pain. But here's the part most people miss. It's not just about the exercises that you do. It's about what you're doing during the rest of the day. And a lot of times, it's the sitting habits you don't even notice that keep aggravating your back, your leg pain, and your disc. So as we walk through these 5 sitting mistakes, I want you to pay attention to how many you're doing right now, and let me know in the comments. When you start fixing these hidden habits, you give your body a real shot to heal faster, feel better, and stay ahead of these flare-ups. Let's get started with mistake number 1, slouching in your chair. This one is probably the most common mistake I see, and most people don't even know that they're doing it. Slouching feels harmless at the moment, but it puts your lower back in a position that can slowly make things worse. When you slump forward, your spine loses its natural curve. That rounded posture increases pressure on the front of the disc and pushes the inside of that disc backwards, right towards the nerve. And if that disc is already bulging, that added pressure can make it worse. In some cases, it what turns a bulge into a full-blown herniation. It also shuts off your core muscles and leaves your spine unsupported for long stretches of time. That's why people often feel stiff, sore, or even get that jolt of sciatic pain when they stand up after being sitting for too long. So here's how to fix it. Start by sitting all the way back into your chair. Then place a small towel roll or cushion or lumbar support for your lower back. The goal is to support your spine's natural arch and bring your posture back to neutral, so your ears line up over your shoulders and your rib cage stack over your hips. If you've been slouching for a while, just adding that support can make a difference right away. You might feel lighter or notice a little less nerve tension in the leg. That's your spine responding to better alignment. Make it a habit. Every time you sit down, check your posture. It only takes a second or two, but it can save you hours of discomfort later. Now that you've got your spine curve supported, let's look at the next mistake, because even if you're sitting upright, this one can still throw your posture way off. Let's move on to number 2, crossing your legs or leaning to one side. Alright, this one might feel totally harmless, even comfortable at first, but crossing your legs or leaning to one side while you sit can quietly make a disc bulge worse, especially if your symptoms are stronger on one side. Here's what's going on. When you sit unevenly like that, your pelvis shifts and your spine has to twist or bend just a little to keep you upright. That creates imbalance in the lower back. Over time, it loads one side of the disc more than the other. And if your disc is already bulging or inflamed, it's now getting even more pressure on the side it's already struggling with. That's when people start feeling that familiar sharp pain down one leg, or numbness that creeps in after longer sit. And the tough part, it doesn't have to be obvious. Even just leaning into one armrest a little too often, or always crossing the same leg, can be enough to tip the balance of things. So here's how to fix it. Start by sitting with both feet flat on the floor, knees stacked above the ankles, and hips level. You also want your weight spread evenly across both sides of your pelvis. If you do cross your legs, that's fine. Just don't stay there too long. Make it a temporary position and then return to neutral once you catch yourself. It might feel awkward at first, but you're used to always leaning to one way over time. This habit keeps your spine centered, your core engaged, and your disc protected from those one-sided flare-ups. Now that we've got your foundation straightened out, let's talk about the next mistake. This one isn't about posture at all, it's about sitting time, because even if you're sitting perfectly, your spine can only tolerate it for so long. Let's move on to mistake number 3, sitting too long without a reset. Now this one's sneaky, because even if your posture is perfect, your spine can only handle sitting for so long before it starts to push back. Here's what I mean. When you sit for long stretches, even in a good chair, even with good form, pressure starts to build inside your lower back. And if you've got a lumbar disc bulge, that pressure adds up faster than you think. What happens is the pressure starts pushing outward in the disc, and it can irritate the nerve root, limit movement in your spine, and make everything feel tight or inflamed. That's when people tell me, I felt fine an hour ago, and now my back is locked up again. Or my leg is going numb, and I haven't even done anything. The truth is, sitting is doing something. It's loading your spine due to the effect of gravity. And if you don't give your body a break, that pressure builds until you feel it. Sometimes as stiffness, sometimes as leg pain, sometimes it's a flare-up that seems to come out of nowhere. Here's what to do instead. Every 30 to 45 minutes, stand up and give your spine a quick reset. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just take 20 to 30 seconds and move. One of the best things you can do is a standing lumbar extension. Just place your hands on your lower back, feet shoulder width apart, and gently lean back while breathing out. Nothing aggressive, just enough to open up the front of your spine and reverse that sitting pressure. If you're at work or in public, you don't have to make a scene. Just get up, go for a short walk, and come right back. These small resets done consistently can make a huge difference over time. Now that we've talked about how long you've been sitting, let's talk about where you're sitting, because the surface you're sitting on might be adding way more pressure to your spine than you realize. Let's move on to mistake number 4, sitting on a soft couch. All right, this one hits close to home for a lot of people. After a long day, you finally get a chance to kick back on the couch. It feels so good at the time, right? But if you've got a disc bulge, that soft, squishy couch might be doing your spine zero favors. Here's what usually happens. Couches tend to let your hips sink lower than your knees, and when that happens, your pelvis tilts backwards and your lower back loses its natural curve. That rounded shape might not feel like a big deal at first, but it's the exact position that puts more pressure on the backside of the disc, the part that's already bulging. It also relaxes your core completely and overstretches the stabilizing muscles that are supposed to support your spine. So yes, it feels nice temporarily, but your spine is paying for it the whole time. That's why so many people tell me, I felt fine until I sat down to watch TV, and suddenly their back is stiff, their leg pain is worse, and they're struggling just to stand back up. So here's how to fix it. If you're sitting on a couch, place a small pillow or cushion behind your lower back. That will help support the natural arch in your spine and stop you from sinking into that rounded position. Even better, if you're going to be sitting for a while, like watching a show or working on your laptop, switch to a firmer chair if possible. Your spine needs support, not softness. And be especially careful if you like to lounge sideways or recline onto the armrest. That twisted, unsupported position, it's one of the fastest ways to aggravate a disc bulge. Now, the couch isn't off limits. Just don't let it become your default, especially if your disc is already in recovery mode. All right, now let's look at the final mistake. This one is subtle but powerful. It's all about your pelvis, and a small shift in alignment can make a huge difference in how your back feels. Let's move on to mistake number 5, sitting with the pelvis tilted back. Now, this one isn't as obvious, but can make a huge difference if you're trying to heal from a disc bulge. Most people don't even think about what their pelvis is doing when they sit. But if it's tilted backward, and it usually is when you're sitting in soft chairs or low seats or when your hips are lower than your knees, that can put your spine in a position that slowly works against you. Here's why that matters. When your pelvis tilts backward, your lower back flattens out. You lose that natural curve, and the pressure starts to shift backward right into the part of the disc that's already bulging. Even if your posture looks okay from the outside, your spine ends up in a compressed and vulnerable position. And over time, that small detail can be the difference between getting better and staying stuck in a cycle of pain. So here's what to do instead. You want to tilt your pelvis slightly forward. That's called anterior pelvic tilt. Nothing extreme, just enough to bring back that natural arch in your lower back. An easy way to do this is sit on a small wedge, a folded towel, or even a cushion placed only under your buttocks, not your thighs. That little lift helps roll your pelvis forward and brings your spine back into a better alignment. The moment you do it, you might feel it right away, like your posture just clicked into place. You feel more upright, more supported, and more balanced overall. It's a small change, but it takes pressure off the disc and gives your core muscles a chance to actually support you instead of letting your spine do all of the work. Now that you've seen all 5 mistakes, you have a solid foundation to protect your back while sitting throughout your daily life. And here's the truth. These sitting modifications might seem small, but they add up fast. I've seen patients who were stuck in daily pain finally start to improve just by changing how they sat, supporting their spine, and giving their body the little breaks throughout the day. This isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about being more aware, making smarter choices, and giving your body the support it needs to actually heal. And when you do that, you ease the pressure, calm the nerve, and give your disc a real chance to heal. If this video helped you feel more in control of your recovery, hit the like button and share it with someone else who's struggling to sit without pain. And let me know in the comments which of these mistakes surprised you the most. Were you constantly crossing your legs without even noticing it? Or maybe sinking into that couch after work? And if you're ready to take the next step, I have one more video I want you to watch. It's a disc bulge relief daily routine. 5 easy motions designed to take pressure off your disc, reduce nerve pain, and help your body move better. It's called 5 gentle daily moves to relieve L4-L5 and L5-S1 disc pain. Go watch that one next. I'll walk you through it step by step. I'll see you there.